So you're talking about creatures still?
Yeah.
Kraken was awesome in the
Kraken
new one.
in the new one was.
That's the good thing in the new one.
Yeah, and
Pegasus was awesome. I know you love Pegasus.
yeah, like I said before in my review, for some reason they made Pegasus black. They made him like Black Beauty on wings.
Do the myths always have him as white?
Yeah, from as long as I can remember, like from the Disney Hercules and the old Clash of the Titans, I've always seen Pegasus as a white stallion. So when I saw him as black, that kind of shocked me a little bit.
I haven't reread those. I don't know if they actually say white or...
They just say Pegasus showed up.
Or if the artist always made Pegasus white.
Always made Pegasus white. They never say what color he is.
We'll
they
have
just
to
say
check into
Pegasus
that.
comes up. Yeah.
Okay.
The sets. The sets, you could tell in the old one, like when Perseus enters the city of, I think, oh, it's like the city, the name escapes me for the moment. You can tell that some of it is like a blue screen, like the scenes where it's like the boat and what, like
in the old
sea,
one?
like in the sea and whatnot. You
Right.
can tell that it's like a green screen. The fact that the sets in the new one is amazing. It is amazing. Okay, I did not write this down on our list, but another thing too that I might add, that the one character that creeped me out in the new one, remember that hippie guy who was dressed in white?
Right.
Those guys
In the new one?
In the new one who were following Hades. I remember watching this. I'm saying in the back of my mind saying, Hades is the Lord of the dead. He feeds on human fear. He doesn't care about your salvation. He wants you dead. Just dead. And just...
So that freaked you out?
Yes, it freaked me out.
The way the guy looked, or...
The guy, how he... it's freaky.
How he acted?
It acted in his intentions.
Did he seem a little too into...
Yeah.
A little overboard, a little extreme?
Yeah, he did. And also,
So he did a good job. He was supposed to be that way.
Yeah, exactly. He pulled it off. Andromeda. I love Andromeda in the new one. The old one, she seemed like your stereotypical princess. Like, she was beautiful. I don't know why, but just, she had like this weird look in her eyes. Like every time, like, the scene where Perseus defeats, Calabas in the swamp, her eyes, like when she's telling the riddle to him before he shows the clawed hand of Calabas, her eyes almost look like they're coming right out of her head.
She's mentioned this a few times, the eyes.
Yeah,
the new Andromeda's really good.
I love it. I loved how she backs away from the stereotypical damsel in distress. She speaks up for herself. And during that time, that was very rare for a woman to do, because back then women weren't treated equally. And
But if you were a princess,
like,
you probably got some good treatment back then.
Yeah. Another thing too, with Calabas. Calabas in the new one, he actually looks scary in the new one. In the old one, I don't know.
Not so much.
Not so much. Like, yeah, he was deformed in the old one, but just there were some things about him in the old one that just made me laugh almost.
Is the old one's the one where they went to the swamp?
Where Andromeda went to the swamp to get the riddle, and she sees him half of the time went like downwards to his tail. It's a stop-action figure, and the time, like from up here, it's an actor.
Doesn't my favorite character save the day during that part?
Yeah, Boobo. He's only in the new one like for 15 minutes, but I love how they added him in there just like as a tribute to the old one. For some reason, he likes to make fun of the poor owl.
It's kind of a cameo in the new one.
Yeah, it's like a
Just
cameo,
shows up
basically.
for a moment. It's funny. But the old one, he's actually pretty good. The problem with the old one is having the patience to really sit and watch it. It's really good if you watch every frame and just enjoy it and have time.
My favorite scene is like in the old one is when Boobo basically he grabs like the Stygian witch's eye, which
he saves the day a lot.
He saves the day a lot. And another thing for creatures, the Stygian witches. The Stygian witches in the new one actually look terrifying. They actually want to kill Perseus and everybody else. In the old one, They look like old ladies with really bad makeup over their eyes to make them look like they were blind and no eyes, and just they looked human, but just they didn't look scary. They were funny, but they weren't scary.
You want them to be scarier than they were.
Yeah, and they did that very well.
Did he do the trip across the water in the old one?
The trip across this river Styx?
Yes.
Okay, I forget the guy who ferries the souls across the river Styx to the land of the dead. I forget his name at the moment, but in the old one, he just basically was a skeleton with a hood over his head.
So he was in the old one. In the new one, it was really good.
It was really good. Like I've seen video from the video game Dante's Inferno, only some of it. Like, he reminded me of that almost. Like, it looks like he's like a part of the boat. And
see, that was really...
It was really cool. I loved how they put that in there.
Yeah.
Another thing I hated the most, like, remember those soldier guys that Perseus tagged along with Io? Mm-hmm. Why did all of them have to die? I loved most of them, and why did they all have to die besides Io and Perseus? I didn't get that.
Yeah, is that part of the original myth?
I don't know.
I don't know. It wasn't good when they went in to Medusa's lair.
Yeah, like
they didn't make it out of there
alive. And basically, what they should have done is had some of the guys out on, like, all they should have done was basically leave a few guys at the entrance, and then a few guys could go in, not everybody. It's just another thing.
Well, maybe they should have taken more guys in that were like expendable.
Yeah,
then they could have kept some of the main
like
people.
like extras.
Like in Galaxy Quest. crew member number 8. We needed some of those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Another thing about actors is that, remember when we watched the deleted scenes of the new one? Some of the deleted scenes from the new one should have been actually added in the film. Like, there's that one scene where Apollo and one of the goddesses talk about trouble with Perseus and they want to make the weapons. That scene should have been in the movie. That scene would have made perfect sense on where the weapons came from.
Well, we like all the extra scenes. We even like the extra scenes in The Lord of the Rings. And they were already long movies.
They were already long.
But they make more sense when you have the scenes.
Yeah, extra scenes sometimes make sense. Lord of the Rings is a very good example of this. I've never seen the theater version, and I don't want to.
The extended versions help you understand it, right?
Yeah, they do. And another thing, too, Ralph Fiennes as Hades, what he does is basically he challenges the performance he does as Voldemort in the other films. He's scary. He does a really good job of being scary. And, the story. In the old one, it shows the gods and goddesses most of the time, probably because some of the stuff that the gods and goddesses said in the old one, like story-wise, like the story when Zeus enters Danae's chamber, they obviously didn't have time for that, so they decided for some bits they added the gods to narrate. So the gods were seen more in the old film than they are in the new one. But both actors for both the gods in the old and the new one, actor-wise, they're really good. They're really good.